And we're going to talk about how to start and run a automotive lifestyle clothing brand. So if you guys haven't seen us make the announcement, we're going to be doing these podcasts every Wednesday at I think it's 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and our goal is to bring together some of the people who have been involved in the industry and talk about what's happening in the automotive scene. So today we're going to be talking about automotive brands and some of the clothing providers out there. And Neal, who is actually part of our Driven team out in Toronto, he's actually our director out in Toronto, has been running a brand now called TBA Brand for some time. And we figured we'd bring him on board and just try to get a bit of his experience in terms of running TBA Brand. So Neal, tell us a little bit about TBA Brand and how it all kind of started.
It's sort of funny. TBA Brand didn't really start off as like an automotive brand. It was actually a partnership between myself and a friend. It's actually him. He was doing an apparel brand, and I was sort of supporting him on the design side. And then it just came about that, you know, just life came in a way, and he wasn't able to fully run the brand, and so he just sort of handed it off to me, and I had this, you know, brand here, and I was like, okay, where can we take this, right? Like, because for me, it wasn't too much about creating apparel. For me, it's always been the creative aspect. Like, I've always had this attachment to art and artwork and stuff like that, and expressing myself through art. And as you know, traditional Chinese parents don't approve of that as a lifestyle or like as a way of making a living, right? So that's more something like you'd have on the side. So it's always been like, you know, let's just look side thing as an outlet just for me to put out my ideas and, you know, what I'm thinking about at that time. And so when this opportunity arose, I just basically sort of absorbed the brand into myself, and I said, like, yeah, like, what can I do, right? What do I like? And one of the things I really like is cars. I love cars. Love everything to do with driving, modifying, you know, racing cars, right? So then the brand sort of became like my canvas for like ideas, like of just things that come to my mind in terms of the automotive space. And you can sort of see that in the reflection of the pieces. Like if you go to the website and you see some of the archive pieces I've made, you'll see exactly, you know, what influenced me. Like you'll see a lot of Initial D for all those old schoolers. I don't know if the new kids know about Initial D, but Initial D was pretty big to me. Of course, Fast and the Furious, like the older Fast and the Furious series was really big, and Formula One, you'll see some hints of Formula One in my designs. But yeah, that's basically how it came about. So like once I got that, then it wasn't so much about creating clothing, it was creating an idea or concept and then using t-shirts as a canvas to put that artwork out.
Yeah, you know, and you have a lot of influence from sort of street culture, right? And you've managed to blend the whole street culture together with the automotive side. Jeff, have you seen his car? Do you know what kind of car he drives?
Yeah, I've seen Neal's car. That I do know for sure. My question though is, what was the genesis of the name TBA?
TBA Brand. Well, if you really think about it, so like the acronym actually breaks out the throttle, brake, apex, and if you just think of it in that order, right, in terms of racing, right? Once the green light goes on, that's basically what you're doing in repetition for the next however long the race is, right? You throttle, you brake, you take the apex, and you're back on the gas again, right? And it's just that repetitive motion. So coming up with that name, it was just basically linking it back to that urge of, you know, if you're in the automotive lifestyle, you love racing. Like, it's just down to that. Like, no kid, no matter what you do, whatever, you put yourself inside a go-kart, like, everyone loves racing, right? So that's basically just the root of it all, right? So that's basically the genesis of the TBA brand name.
Gotcha. Cool.